Friends, I'm going to say something out loud that millions of Americans are thinking, but no one in power is willing to name. Our democracy is in a constitutional emergency. Not a future one, not a hypothetical one, right now. And here's what I want you to hold on to for the next 10 minutes. The people are ready. We are the supermajority, and we already have a path forward if we have the courage and the revolutionary optimism to walk it together. I'm Dr. Paul Zeitz, physician, epidemiologist, Song of Songs rabbi, democracy activist, father, grandfather, and a revolutionary optimist. Welcome to this special call to action episode of the Revolutionary Optimism Podcast. I was trained as a doctor to name the emergency before reaching a treatment. Misdiagnosis kills, and right now, America is collectively misdiagnosing what is wrong. We are not suffering from the wrong party being in power. We are suffering from a structural failure of governance itself. A system so distorted by concentrated money, captured institutions, gerrymandered maps, and zero-sum partisan warfare that it can no longer perform its most basic function, serving the common good. This is not a Democratic diagnosis, nor a Republican one. It is a common sense one. When you see institutional dysfunction, declining public trust, rising inequality, political violence, and democratic backsliding, you are looking at a system in crisis. This is not a policy dispute. It is a system crisis. And as an epidemiologist, I will tell you, system crises require system-level responses. So let me be specific. There are red lines, constitutional red lines, that we must be prepared to respond to. Number one, election capture, when the machinery of voting is seized to predetermine outcomes and by delegitimizing elections in the eyes of the public. Number two, invocation of the Insurrection Act to suppress the equal right under the law for every citizen to vote, peaceful dissent, and peaceful assembly. Number three, congressional capture, when the legislative branch is rendered a rubber stamp for executive power. Presidential capture, when states place a federal candidate for the office of president on the ballot for an unconstitutional third term. And constitutional capture, when the foundational rules of the game are rewritten to entrench minority rule permanently. Friends, some of these red lines have already been crossed, and other red lines are being tested every single week. And when they are crossed decisively, the people must be ready with peaceful resistance, not with violence, not with despair, rather with a plan, a vision, and each other. Now, here's the part that should fill you with hope, because this is where the revolutionary optimism kicks in. There is a supermajority hiding in plain sight. 45% of Americans now identify as political independents, the highest number ever recorded. Among Gen Z, it's 56%. Democrats and Republicans each stand at just 27%. The two-party system is a minority enterprise running a majority country. And these independents are not apathetic. They are the most motivated citizens in America, motivated precisely because they know both parties have failed them and that the system itself is the problem. And it doesn't stop there. 71% of Americans across parties support campaign finance reform. Bipartisan majorities support nonpartisan redistricting, ranked choice voting, and citizens' assemblies. 14% of Trump's own voters say they'd vote differently if they could. 45% of his 2024 supporters don't want him to run again. The American people are not divided on structural reform. The system that benefits from division is the obstacle. The people are ahead of the politicians, way ahead. So when someone tells you a cross-partisan movement is impossible, Show them these numbers. The coalition isn't hypothetical, it's already here, waiting to be organized. So, what do we do with this supermajority power? We build a government of national unity, not the fake unity that asks one side to shut up and call it bipartisanship, a real one. A government of national unity, a GNU, is a specific proven governing model with three core features. First, it is cross partisan in composition. Governing power is deliberately shared because no single party has the mandate to govern alone. Second, it is built on shared foundational commitments, not a full policy merger, but a framework of principles that all governing partners agree to uphold while keeping their distinct identities on everything else. And third, it is purpose driven. It is a response to the constitutional emergency with a defined mission to stabilize institutions, create a participatory, citizen driven process to make this system structurally fairer for everyone. This is not a fantasy. South Africa did it after apartheid. Northern Ireland did it after decades of armed conflict. Germany has done it repeatedly. And America itself has done versions of it, ending slavery, women's right to vote, the Marshall Plan, the Civil Rights Act, Social Security, all required deliberate, cross-partisan, supermajority action. We have institutional memory. What we need now is the collective will. So I am proposing 7 unity principles as a starting framework. 1, free and fair elections. 2, restored checks and balances. 3, guaranteed fundamental rights, health, education, clean air and water, a livable planet. 4, citizen deliberation through citizens' assemblies and sortition. 5, an economy that works for everyone. 6, truth and transparency. And 7, interdependence as our governing principle. The recognition that we are bound together across every line of difference. These are not a finished platform. They belong to the movement, not to any single leader or organization. The process of refining them together, that itself is a democratic act. Now, let me speak directly to the moment we are preparing for. When the constitutional red lines are crossed, and friends, we must be honest that several already have been, the people will peacefully assemble, not in rage, not in chaos, in disciplined, nonviolent, democratic purpose. This is our constitutional right. The First Amendment doesn't just permit peaceful assembly, it protects it as the bedrock of self-governance. And when the people assemble, they will not merely protest, they will govern through citizens' assemblies, randomly selected demographically representative bodies of everyday Americans. We will deliberate on the structural reforms our country needs, and we will draft a people's proposal. And if the crisis demands it, we will elect and form a government of national unity, a cross-partisan emergency governing body that represents the true supermajority of Americans who believe in constitutional democracy, the rule of law, and the dignity of every person. As I wrote in Hit Refresh on the U.S. Constitution, our founders themselves understood this. Article 7 of the Constitution, the ratification clause, established the precedent that when a governing framework fails, the people have the right and the responsibility to create a new one. We, the people, are the ultimate source of authority. That has always been the American promise. Now we must make it the American practice. So here is my call to you. Wherever you are, whatever party or no party claims your loyalty to independence, you are not a swing vote to be courted. You are the majority. The Forward Party, United Independents, the Independent National Coalition, organizations across this country are building the infrastructure to translate your numbers into governing power. A government of national unity is the framework that makes your political voice real. To principled Republicans, You are not being asked to become Democrats. You are being asked to defend the things that made your values worth holding: constitutional governance, the rule of law, economic dignity, and a government that tells the truth. To Democrats and progressives, you cannot build a just society through a system captured by the forces you are trying to reform. Fix the machine itself first. These structural reforms are not a ceiling on your ambitions. They are the new floor. To every American who has ever felt that this system doesn't represent you, you are right, and you are not alone. The window is open. America's 250th birthday is less than 3 months away, July 4th, 2026. The 2028 elections are less than 3 years out. This is our Kairos moment, the ancient Greek word for the moment when conditions align and decisive action becomes possible. The supermajority is real. The vision is clear. The framework is here. I want to leave you with this. Revolutionary optimism is not naive hope. It is a disciplined belief that when enough people commit to building something better together across every line of difference, transformation becomes not just possible, but inevitable. We are bound together. We are interdependent, and united, we rise. So share this episode, go to drpaulzeitz.substack.com and read USA Needs a Government of National Unity. Talk to your neighbor, especially the one you disagree with, and start asking the most powerful question in democracy. What kind of country do we want to build together? This is Dr. Paul Zeitz. Stay optimistic, stay revolutionary, and I'll see you next time.
Are you ready to be part of the revolution? To learn more about building movements, please visit unify-usa.org. To get to know Dr. Zeitz, please visit drpaulzeitz.org. If you like this show, be sure to follow on YouTube or your favorite podcast app so you don't miss an episode. Revolutionary Optimism, transforming the world one episode at a time.